We are the biggest stars in the biggest horror films in the history of horror films, guaranteed.
All right, welcome to night.
You can do it. Come on. Go ahead.
All right. Here we are at Frightmare in the Falls. I'm sitting beside Kane Hodder. Kane, how you doing, brother? Welcome to Niagara Falls.
Thank you.
How
It's
are
good
you?
to be back here.
Yeah. When was the last time you were here?
2013, I think.
2013. Was
I
it a
believe
horror
so.
show or was it just a regular con?
Yeah. It was a
Just
regular Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what? Let's touch on a little bit of Friday the 13th. Okay. You've been in 4 of them.
Correct.
And what's your favorite out of them all?
Probably part 7. The first one I did because I think the look of Jason was the best. So it's my favorite.
Yeah. And what was your favorite kill scene? Mine is the one where you go after Terrykiser. By the way, I talked to Terry when he was here at Comic-Con, and you had that wielding saw and and
That was a real tool, by the way.
oh, really?
We found that in a hardware store. That wasn't made for the film. That was a real tool with a circular saw blade on it.
Oh, wow.
So Beekler and I said, we got to use this in the movie. But Terry remembers the scene, does he?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's alive to talk about it anyway, for sure.
My favorite kill is the sleeping bag.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I've seen many interviews with you, and it was like a body bag with pounds of blood in it, or something like.
Well, it was a 90-pound dummy in a sleeping bag.
Okay.
So it wasn't that easy to wield around. And when I'm dragging the bag over to the tree, you can see that somebody's in there. And it wasn't the actress, it was the makeup effects assistant was in that bag while I'm dragging it so that you could see that it's real, and then there's a quick edit and to the dummy, and then I slam it against a tree. But yeah, that's my favorite kill because it's not a weapon, so that's pretty cool, I think.
To the whole franchise, you have been in 4, obviously, and like I said, and what is your perception of the lake and how it changed and why it wasn't the same? I mean, do you ever look at it and say, why didn't they go with the same? I mean, it was like a ravine where part 7 was, it was a smaller, it wasn't really a lake.
Right. It was not a ravine, but it was a bayou, actually.
Oh, okay.
But it was in Alabama. And then, of course, we shot part 8 in Vancouver, Canada.
Right.
And then part 9 was Los Angeles, and Jason X was Toronto. So, Jason X was a totally different movie, but you're never going to have any consistency of the surroundings if you don't use the same area. Each production wanted to go somewhere else. So
yeah,
that's why each production had a different version of Jason too. It's kind of odd that Jason's look changed every time from movie to movie, but fans didn't really seem to care.
Yeah. Obviously, I told you about C.J. Graham, and he was telling me about the regulator underwater. Did you have to do that as well at that part?
For 2 days.
For 2 days, eh?
The last 2 days of shooting, I had to do all the underwater stuff to match the end of his movie.
Sure.
And there was much more that I had to do underwater. Plus, I was held underwater. I was cabled to the bottom of the pool, so I was never up. I just stayed underwater for hours at a time, just breathing on the regulator. So it was a tough way to end a tough shoot already. So 2 days underwater. But
And when you go to Manhattan, the part where you kick the radio, like, did you just say, "Piss on it, I'm gonna give it"? Oh my God!
of course, I had to stay in character. But the tricky thing is that when you have makeup on and then you have a hockey mask on, you have tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You don't, and I always purposely avoided ever having Jason look down where he's walking because I thought it weakened the character. So I would always look up and not be able to see where I was walking, and often paid the price for that. And first take of the radio, I kicked the radio, didn't know where it went, and kept walking straight and tripped right over the fucking thing. So I'm surprised that footage hasn't shown up somewhere.
Oh, that's a pretty funny outtake. Actually, you didn't fall though.
Stumbled,
yeah.
Weakened the character for sure. But, so we had to do it again, and then I kicked the radio so that it went out of my path.
Right.
Because I just wanted to kick it and keep walking. like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And that's how it appears in the film. So
How about Jason X going to space? How was that really interesting concept? I mean, I don't know.
you know, it was certainly a different idea for the franchise, and I was a little worried that horror fans might not go for it, but then I thought, you know what, it really doesn't matter what the setting is, as long as Jason is what people have come to expect. So that's how I approached it, just kept Jason the same as we had done before, and the setting was different. And it seemed like the fans liked it anyway, so.
Yeah. You do this movie with Malcolm. He's a pain in the ass, isn't he? Malcolm, we love you.
No, we don't.
Smothered. Let's talk about
It
Smothered.
would have been so much fun had Malcolm not been in the film.
Oh, jeez.
Because John Schneider directing, I used to work with John on Dukes of Hazzard. I was one of the second string stunt guys, I would say. There was a main group that did all the main stuff, and then there was a second group of us that would do the extra stunts. And so I worked on the show quite a bit. So I knew John. I helped get R.A. and Don Shanks in the film. Mosley was already signed, and then they said Malcolm, and I said, who? Nah, I'm just fucking with you. Malcolm's a great guy, but we had fun. We just have fun with our banter, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were out on the floor, and Victor Crowley, by those guys, they produced this movie. Victor Crowley is now going to be the new Hatchet.
It is the fourth installment of the Hatchet franchise, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really quite good, so.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah, I'm very excited I can't wait to see it. It's going to be amazing. You know what? I want to thank you very much for your time. This has been really great.
Thanks, man.
You are an awesome
By the way, you got
individual.
something on your face right here.
Oh,